Clark has made it clear she wants to play basketball and that she wants there to be a WNBA season. Remember when she finally got back on the court for Team USA in December? It felt like forever. But she said this about the CBA negotiations, not losing sight of the importance of.
Pay close attention to what she's saying here. Not just the words themselves, but the confidence behind them. This isn't framed as a possibility, a hope, or something tied to a future season. This year, with that clarity, Caitlin Clark has made her position unmistakable on the CBA negotiations that have the entire WNBA world holding its breath.
And, you know, we're going to fight for everything that we deserve, but at the same time, like, we need to play basketball. That's what our fans crave, and that's what all of you crave as well, is you want the product on the floor.
So you want the product on the floor. Talking about, she goes on to talk about compromising and holding strong on certain things and everything that happens in negotiations, but you can, I think, safely assume.
There it is. She wants the product on the floor. And when the single biggest driver of the WNBA's explosive growth in 2024 speaks, everyone should be listening. The league's current position, the leverage the players hold, and the record-breaking revenue now being negotiated are largely because of her impact. To be specific, WNBA viewership surged dramatically, with Indiana Fever games averaging 1.118 million viewers, and Caitlin Clark's rookie season generating more media attention than the league had seen in its entire 27-year history. So when she posts something on social media, it doesn't just get noticed, it becomes news.
On a basketball court at all, and it's news, or she does something on social media. She's been very active on social media recently, but this one caught attention just because she was actually in gear and on a basketball floor. The Pacers practice facility, it looks like here. I don't know exactly when the video was taken, but she put it on her Instagram story today, tagging Rob Dozier, who's the new development coach for the Fever. Go! Pretty good form on the throw.
And that's exactly what happened today. She posted a video to her Instagram story from what appears to be the Pacers practice facility. Just her, a basketball, and Rob Dozier, the Fever's new player development coach. The alley-oop, the effortless finish, and the casual shrug afterward made it look routine. What makes it interesting is Dozier's background. He came from the Wizards organization, spent time with the G League's Indiana Mad Ants, and now holds a dedicated player development role with the Fever. He's already been publicly supportive of Caitlin, even hyping her Nike commercial when it dropped, clearly building that relationship. This wasn't just a random workout clip. It was a signal that she's already working with the new staff and preparing for what comes next.
In the Breanna Stewart video I just did, which you can check out the video prior to this, make sure you like and subscribe to the channel and get your comments in and all that. It feels like a lot of league activity and buzz is picking up all of a sudden. And I don't know if I'm going to read too much into it, you know, because Caitlin Clark posted this video on a basketball court in basketball gear, but it did make me, you know, scratch my head a little bit like, And regardless, I think it's nice to see.
Because timing matters here. League activity and buzz are suddenly picking up everywhere. Breanna Stewart just made headlines with her own news. Players are sharing workout content, and there's clear movement happening behind the scenes. In that context, Caitlin Clark posting herself in full basketball gear on a court, working with a Fever development coach feels like more than just casual off-season content. Just a few months ago, she was playing through a sprained left ankle during the playoff loss to Connecticut, after dealing with an ear injury that affected her balance in the first round against Las Vegas. Her entire rookie season was a physical grind that left her battered by the end. So seeing her back on the court, moving freely, throwing down alley-oops with that signature confidence is genuinely significant.
Connection that's about to come. When she said this to Elijah Surratt, the receiver from Indiana, he had the dog named Cece. Both are welcome courtside this year. You know, no hedging there. Very clear. Courtside this year. You know, not if there's a season, but this year. And let's be real about it. If Caitlin Clark wants to use her voice.
But let's go back to what she said about the CBA negotiations. She spoke about compromising on some things while holding firm on others. That's the language of negotiation, from someone who clearly understands the process. At the same time, she made a point to emphasize getting the product on the floor, making it clear that playing basketball is the priority. And when you look at the leverage at play, The WNBA Players Association knows exactly what it has. It has Caitlin Clark, who just delivered the most successful rookie season in league history from a business standpoint. It has Angel Reese, who set the single-season rebounding record. It has a draft class that generated unprecedented interest, along with viewership numbers that shattered every previous record. Add in sold-out arenas and season ticket waiting lists in Indiana, and the leverage becomes impossible to ignore.
Just Surratt, the receiver from Indiana, he had the dog named Cece. Both are welcome courtside this year. No hedging there. Very clear, courtside this year. Not if there's a season, but this year. And let's be real about it. If Caitlin Clark wants to use her voice, they should be listening to her, considering the position everybody's in is in large part, mostly due as a result, whatever.
So when Caitlin says she wants everyone to compromise while also holding firm on certain things, what does that really mean? The players are pushing for a larger share of revenue, better travel conditions, improved maternity benefits, and charter flights to become the standard rather than a luxury. These aren't unreasonable demands, especially after the league just posted its most profitable season ever. However, the situation is more complicated than it appears. The WNBA is still operating at an overall loss and remains subsidized by the NBA. Team owners are investing millions with the understanding that profitability is a long-term objective, not an immediate outcome. That means these negotiations aren't simply about dividing up massive profits. They're about deciding how to invest new revenue in a way that grows the league sustainably, while also ensuring
the WNBA season. Remember when she finally got back on the court for Team USA in December? It felt like forever. But she said this about the CBA negotiations, not losing sight of the importance of them, but making it clear where she wanted it to end up.
Very high level. And I think the most important thing for myself, thinking about these CBA negotiations, this is the biggest moment of WNBA.
And Caitlin Clark is right at the center of all of it. She made that clear back in December when she finally returned to the court with Team USA, showing she understands just how important these negotiations are. She isn't dismissing them or suggesting players should simply accept whatever deal is offered. She's saying she wants both a fair agreement and basketball being played. Her comment to Elijah Sarrett, the Indiana receiver who named his dog CC, says everything about her mindset. Both are welcome courtside this year. Not next year, not eventually. This year, she's already treating the 2025 season as a certainty, inviting people to games and planning, as if the season is absolutely happening.
Seemed to have a nice relationship. He was he worked in the Wizards staff. He was on the G League Pacers affiliate staff, and now he's in a player development role. He's posted her stuff online, bigging up Caitlin when the Nike commercial dropped, stuff like that. But it's just interesting, as I noticed in the Breanna Stewart video I just did, which you can check out the video prior to this. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel and get your comments in and all that. It feels like a lot of league activity.
Now let's look at what that Instagram story actually reveals. First, she's clearly healthy. The ankle that bothered her in September looks fine, as she's jumping, landing, and moving laterally without any visible hesitation. That matters, because injuries piled up late last season and raised real questions about how much recovery time she'd need. Second, she's already working with the Fever's new coaching staff. Rob Dozer isn't a random trainer. He's officially part of the organization, hired specifically for player development. The fact that they're already working together and that she's comfortable enough to share it publicly suggests the Fever are intentionally building around her growth. And third, the timing matters. Why post this now instead of waiting for training camp or the official off-season program? Because she's sending a message. She's ready, she wants to play, and she's preparing as if the season is happening. And if CBA negotiations are dragging or there's concern about delays, she's making her position clear without having to say it outright.
Caitlin Clark wants to use her voice, they should be listening to her, considering the position everybody's in is in large part, mostly due as a result, whatever phrasing you want to use, she's got a lot to do with it, is the single biggest reason for it. To the point where, Caitlin Clark's on a basketball court at all, and it's news, or she does something on social media. She's been very active on social media recently, but this one caught attention just because she was actually engaged.
Here's what people need to understand about Caitlin Clark's influence in these negotiations. Her leverage goes far beyond normal player union dynamics. If she wanted to, she could make a single public statement that would shift the entire conversation, pressuring the league, the union, or both. She could use her platform to openly advocate for a specific position, but she hasn't. Instead, she's being strategic, emphasizing the importance of getting the product on the floor while still acknowledging how critical the negotiations are. She's threading a careful needle, supporting her fellow players and their push for better conditions, while also making it clear she doesn't want the season delayed or canceled. In doing so, she gives both sides a strong incentive to reach a deal. And that matters, because the league knows what's at stake if there's no Caitlin Clark season. All the momentum from last year, all the new fans who tuned in specifically to watch her, and all the corporate sponsors drawn by her star power could quickly disappear, with contracts already accounting for that exact possibility.
And I don't know if I'm going to read too much into it, because Caitlin Clark posted this video on a basketball court in basketball gear, but it did make me, scratch my head a little bit like, And regardless, I think it's nice to see any CC activity on the court after all the injuries she had.
The league activity picking up right now isn't a coincidence. There's a reason players are suddenly more visible on social media, posting workout clips, engaging with fans, and creating buzz, because everyone understands how critical it is to maintain momentum. The WNBA can't afford to go dark for months while negotiations drag on, and it can't afford to let the conversation drift away from basketball. In that context, Caitlin Clark posting herself on a court in Fever gear, working out with Fever Coach, is one of the most effective ways to keep that conversation alive. She doesn't need to issue statements about the CBA, tweet about negotiations, or give interviews on revenue sharing. She just needs to show up, ball out, and remind everyone why they started paying attention in the first place.
December, it felt like forever, but she said this about the CBA negotiations, not losing sight of the importance of them, but making it clear where she wanted it to end up.
Very high level, and I think the most important thing for myself, thinking about these CBA negotiations, like, this is the biggest moment the WNBA has ever seen, and it's not something that can be messed up. And
think about the language she used when she talked about wanting there to be a WNBA season. Not hoping, not wishing, but wanting. That's active language from someone prepared to help make it happen, not just wait for it to happen. And when the player who generated more revenue than any rookie in league history says she wants to play, that carries real weight in a negotiating room. The Players Association knows it, the league knows it, and the team owners know it. Everyone involved understands that Caitlin Clark playing basketball in 2025 is worth more than any single contract clause or benefit package. Not because those issues don't matter, but because her presence on the court is what makes everything else possible. If the Fever sell out home games again, national TV ratings remain high, and corporate sponsorships continue to grow, the next CBA negotiation becomes easier. There's more money to share, more leverage for players, and more investment from owners. But all that depends on the 2025 season happening.
Had a little bit like, And regardless, I think it's nice to see any CC activity on the court after all the injuries she had.
So when you see Caitlin Clark casually posting an alley-oop on her Instagram story, understand what you're really watching. You're seeing someone who knows exactly what her role is in this moment. Someone choosing to lead by example rather than by statement. She's already preparing for a season she's treating as inevitable, even as negotiations continue. And that may be the smartest move anyone could make right now. Talk is cheap and statements are easy, but showing up in the gym, putting in the work, building chemistry with a new coaching staff, getting healthy, and staying healthy is what actually matters. That's what will determine whether the WNBA's 2024 breakthrough becomes a sustainable reality or just a one-year spike. The CBA will get done. It has to, because both sides have too much to lose. Players need the platform and the paychecks. The league needs a product and the talent. And everyone needs Caitlin Clark on a basketball court doing exactly what she's doing in that Instagram video. She wants to play basketball. She wants there to be a WNBA season. And based on everything we're seeing, the league-wide activity, her work with the Fever's new development coach, and the momentum building, it's looking more and more like she's going to get exactly what she wants this year.